What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the MC Show. It's your boy Mock. Today, as I promised, we will be going over end of season awards. All of them, from Rookie of the Year to DPOY, the All NBA teams, the All Defensive teams. But before we get started, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any and all help would be greatly appreciated. Trying to get these subscribers up, trying to grind, you know what I'm saying? So if you can please leave a subscription, leave a like to get this video out to as many people as possible. Greatly appreciated, of course. But we're gonna get started. I'm gonna leave the All NBA teams and the All Defensive teams for last because those are my personal favorites. When the end of the year awards come out, the ones I'm looking forward to are All NBA teams and All Defensive teams. So let's get started. We might as well start off with the big boy, the MVP. Obviously a two-man race throughout the regular season between Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic. I'm gonna read their stats real quick. I wrote their stats down right here. We're gonna start off with SGA. SGA 32.7. 37 points would be crazy. 32.7 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.7 steals, top 10, a block per game. Shooting splits 51, 37, 89, shooting 63% true shooting percentage. He also led the league in 20-point games, at least 20 points, 75, 30 points, 49, 40 points, 13, 50 points, 4. OKC is number one in the league. They won 68 games. 68 and 14 is absolutely insane with him being the leader. He led the league in scoring at 32.7 points. It's crazy. You're probably thinking, oh snap, he should definitely be an MVP. Ain't nobody have a season as good as him. Let me introduce you to Nikola Jokic. 29.6 points, third in the league. 12.7 rebounds, third in the league. 10.2 assists, second I believe in the league to Trae Young. 1.8 steals, second in the league. Shooting splits 57, 41, 80, 66% true shooting percentage. The first player in NBA history with 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 20 assists. Also had a 61-point triple-double, the most points in a triple-double ever. I don't know what to do. How am I supposed to pick between these two guys? These guys, like SGA and Jokic, are both having historic offensive seasons. Jokic finished averaging a triple-double. He's the first center to ever average a triple-double and the third player ever. At an efficient rate, like he shoots 41% from 3. That's top 10 in the league as a center. He's finished top 3 in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He's like the only player in NBA history to finish in top 3 in those 4 categories at the same time. They finished 5th in the Western Conference. SGA is having the most efficient, one of the best MVP seasons from a guard ever. He led the league in scoring. He led the league in points. He's efficient too. He's shooting 51, 37, 89. He's that close to a 50, 40, 90 season. And he defends as well. And OKC won 68 games. And they had the highest point differential in NBA history. It's hard to choose between these two guys. I don't think there's a wrong answer per se. I think you can make a clear-cut argument for Jokic, clear-cut argument for SGA. Jokic to me is the best player on the planet. I think that's universal. The way he just commands offense is absolutely insane. His passing, his rebounding, his ability to score at all 3 levels is unbelievable. For a guy who could barely jump off the ground. And for him to be this dominant is insane. Say SGA, mid-range assassin. Not a lot of people should be shooting many mid-ranges. This many mid-ranges. But when you're as good as Shai, when you're as good as Kevin Durant, when you're as good as DeMar DeRozan, you're allowed to shoot as many mid-range shots as you want. And nobody could guard him this season. Absolutely nobody. I ended up going with Shea, but it was really, really tough. It was really, really tough. If you vote Nikola Jokic, you're not even gonna get a single ounce of argument from me. And you're not dumb. Nobody should be judging you. Like, it's hard. One of these guys, I think Shea's going to win the MVP. I think most of the media members are gonna have him as their first place vote. Well, one of these guys who are having historic offensive seasons is not gonna win MVP. I don't have all these stats in front of me, but if Jokic might have the best MVP season and not win MVP season ever. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I got to the point where if Jokic has like 30, 15, and 12, I don't even get surprised anymore. I'm just like regular day. That's how I look at Jokic. 30, 15, and 12. I'm just like, oh, he just did regular stuff. 30, 15, and 12 is not regular, guys. Unless you're Jokic, of course. But I ended up leading Shea. If you choose Jokic, I can't be mad at you. And the crazy part about all of this is Giannis, 30 points, 11.9 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1.2 blocks, shooting 60% from the field, 62.5% true shooting percentage. In any other year, Giannis probably would win MVP. But because he's going up against two guys who are having all-time great offensive seasons, like, people probably aren't even acknowledging him enough. Giannis had a fantastic season. And the season where the Milwaukee Bucks kind of underperformed a little bit, they sort of got it together and finished 5th in the East. But Giannis has been crazy. Ever since you found out that Damian Lillard was going to be out with that deep vein thrombosis in his calf, like, he's basically been averaging like a triple-double. Basically. Like, it's unbelievable how good these guys are, and it's unfortunate that only one of these guys can win MVP, and it's probably going to be Shea. Defensive Player of the Year, I ended up choosing Draymond. This Defensive Player of the year race is weird. You can make a case for like 4, 5, 6 different guys, and I don't think any of those guys' cases are significantly better than the other. I think you can make a case for Draymond Green. I think you can make a case for Dyson Daniels. I think you can make a case for Evan Mobley and Jaren Jackson Jr. or Ivica Zubac. Or some people gonna try to make an argument for Lou Dort, and it's hard for me to just be like, no, ew. Amen Thompson has been fantastic. Like, it's just hard to do. I ended up choosing Draymond. The Warriors have been number 1 in defense since they got Jimmy Butler. Him anchoring the defense at 6'6" is like, he's one of the greatest defenders of all time. And I know I can't bring all time into this, but it's just incredible at 35, year 13 for him. He's still able to be this defensive anchor. Like, he's not as fast as he was. If you look at Draymond in 2016, 2017, around that time, he is not as athletic, but he still is. He's great help defender. He's a pretty good post defender. Like, he just has everything. And I think that a lot of his defensive abilities has sort of been on display more because more people have been paying attention to the Golden State Warriors since they got Jimmy, because they were so dominant on both sides of the floor. But I had to choose Draymond. But anybody could make a case for any of the other guys, because with Wembanyama going out, this Defensive Player of the Year race has been so wonky. At the end of the season, when they released the points and the voting and stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if this race is close and there's so many guys who get votes throughout the league. Coach of the Year, I ended up going with Kenny Atkinson. The reason why I ended up going with Kenny Atkinson is just due to the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers essentially had the same exact roster as last year. They finished number 4 last year, but the last third of the season they really struggled. Donovan Mitchell was dealing with a knee injury. Obviously finished the playoffs not well. I believe he had a calf injury, so he didn't finish the series against Boston. To have the same exact team as last year and be so absurdly dominant in the Eastern Conference puts him, in my opinion, above all the other guys. This was a very deep Coach of the Year ballot. Coach of the Year race. To me, there are 6 guys who you can make an argument for that can win Coach of the Year. It's Kenny Atkinson, it's JB Bickerstaff, Ime Udoka, Mark Daigneault, JJ Redick, and Tyronn Lue. If you gave me an argument for either of the other 5 candidates, I'm not even going to be... I can't argue with you. JB Bickerstaff, they won 14 games last year, the Detroit Pistons. They won 14 games last season, and they're now number 6 in the playoffs. They're outside the play-in. They're outside the play-in in the Eastern Conference, who for some reason 3 out of 4 teams every season is going to be Atlanta, Miami, and Chicago. Perpetual play-in tournament teams. I thought that they could compete for a play-in spot. Not only are they competing for a play-in spot, they exceeded that. I think they're the popular upset pick for the Knicks. I don't know if I can go that far. I think they could give the Knicks trouble. For real. JB Bickerstaff had these guys number 9 in defense this season. They really took to JB Bickerstaff and his coaching and his style and whatnot. So I can't even... It's hard to argue against JB Bickerstaff, but for me, Kenny Atkinson, him coming in, empowering Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell sort of taking a step back so those 2 guys can take a step forward, mainly Mobley, and him just changing the offense so much to where they were so dominant scoring the basketball. They were number 1 in 3-point shooting. Again, with the same roster besides DeAndre Hunter, who they got at the trade deadline. I knew he was going to do a better job than JB Bickerstaff did last season, but he exceeded my expectations. So did JB, so did Ime Udoka, so did all these guys who I named, except for Mark Daigneault. Of course, they were number 1 last season, but he did a fantastic job. But I have to give it to Kenny Atkinson. Moving on to Rookie of the Year, I think we all know it's Stephon Castle. 14 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Not the greatest shooting splits. 43, 28, 72 from the free throw line. He's a rookie. Nobody should ever expect rookies to ever be efficient. Even Kevin Durant, one of the most efficient players, scorers we've ever seen, even his rookie season, he was an inefficient player. So I don't judge the shooting numbers too much. 28% from 3 obviously is abysmal, but he'll get better. I don't know if he'll ever be a 39, 40% free 3-point shooter, but if he could turn to average 36, 35%, you're fine with that. But he played 81 games, 26 points of at least 20 points in his rookie season. That led all rookies. I just think he made the biggest consistent impact. With Victor Wembanyama out for the season because of the blood clot in his shoulder, you just saw Castle with a little bit more responsibility. De'Aaron Fox also with the surgery on his finger to repair the tendon that he ended up missing the rest of the season. You saw he was coming off the bench when De'Aaron Fox got here. You saw he was starting. He just had a lot more on his plate, and I thought he handled it pretty well. I like his ceiling. Shout out to Zachary Reese-Shea though. I thought from January to the end of the season, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Finished 3rd in scoring after Alex Sarr and Stephon Castle in terms of points per game. But he would probably be like 2nd on my ballot, but I think Castle was the more consistent player from the beginning of the season till now. Not going to spend too much time on Clutch Player of the Year. Not going to spend so much time on Clutch Player of the Year. I think it's Jalen Brunson. I feel like a lot of Knicks games were, hey, let's keep it close for 3 quarters, and then the last 5 minutes, let's just give it to Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson, you just win the game for us. And it worked because they won 51 games. And he led the league in like a lot of clutch stats. Not gonna spend too much time on this award, but I think it's pretty clear that he was the clutch player of the year. I know Nikola Jokic is someone who was pretty clutch this year, so I bet he probably gets a lot of votes as well. But Jalen Brunson, clearly the clutchest player in the league this season. Most improved player, I had two guys who I really thought deserved it: Dyson Daniels or Zubac. I'm leaning toward Dyson Daniels just because the expectations were lower. He was part of the DeJounte Murray trade. Him, Larry Nance, and some picks go to Atlanta. Obviously, New Orleans didn't believe in him. They thought getting DeJounte Murray was an upgrade. Murray's injury-riddled season, unfortunately, didn't prove that to be true. But Dyson Daniels obviously had high upside, being a lottery pick a couple seasons ago. He really improved, man. 14 points, 6 rebounds basically, 4 assists, 3 steals per game. The first person this century, since 2000 for you dummies out there, to average 3 steals per game, shooting 49%. All of those are career highs. 33 minutes a game, 9 double-doubles in this season. Like, he was absolutely fantastic. But Zubac, I gotta give him my credit, give him his credit as well. These are also career highs: 16.8, 17 points, 12.6 rebounds, was tops in the league. 63% from the field. He had 4 games of 20 points and 20 rebounds, anchoring one of the 5 best defenses in the league. I didn't expect this from Zubac. Like, Zubac might be on some people's All-NBA teams, and I wouldn't even be surprised. Like, he's been phenomenal all season long. He's a big reason why the Clippers didn't fall to 12th or 13th with Kawhi missing the first half of the season. Him and James Harden really held it down, and so you gotta give him a shout out. I think he deserves to be looked at for Defensive Player of the Year and Most Improved Player. I think I ended up leading Dyson again because the expectations, I feel like he might have been looked at as a throw-in in the DeJounte Murray trade. And new team, new system, new coach, him playing a brand new team with a more ball dominant player in Trae Young. Obviously, Trae Young was a little less ball dominant this season, so you give Trae Young his credit for that. But Trae Young obviously is a one-man offense kind of show, and he played really well off of him, and they were improved on defense. I know 18th in defense might not seem like a lot, but for a team who in a Trae Young era has basically been a top 10 offense every season and a bottom 10 defense every season, for them to be outside a little below average on defense, it honestly is a big deal. It's a big deal. So I think I'm gonna go with Dyson Daniels. We're gonna do the all rookie teams real quick. First team: Ware, Risa Shea, Castle, Jalen Wells, Yves Missi. Second team, I feel you could put a number of guys there. I went with Collier, Sarr, Bub Carrington, Zach Edey, and with Matas Buzelis. Matas Buzelis in the second half of the season really has impressed me. He's a very good cutter. I think that he can be a really good scorer in this league. He's 6'10". He's extremely athletic. I think he's really good at taking guys who are smaller than him off the dribble. He really impressed me. Zach Edey had a fantastic rookie season. I think Bub Carrington, nobody really watches the Washington Wizards. He was actually pretty good to me. Alex Sarr, I think as the season got along, I thought he really improved. And Collier, quietly, because Utah was disgustingly awful this season, let the league let all rookies in assists. So you could put Kyle Filipowski, you could put any other guys there. I wouldn't necessarily argue with you, but those are my all rookie teams. And now for the juicy stuff. The All-NBA teams and all defensive teams. Now for the juicy, the big, fat, meaty teams. The All-NBA teams and the all defensive teams. The way I got the All-NBA teams first, so we're gonna do that. For my first team All-NBA, surprise, surprise, Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, and Shea. Wow. I mean, wow. Who knew those guys were gonna make first team All-NBA? My last guy is Mitchell. There's a number of guys who I considered Curry, because in a month of March, from March to like April, he was just disgusting. A couple 50-point games, a bunch of 30-point games, a bunch of crazy, unbelievable shots from half court and whatnot. Bron, before his injury against the Boston Celtics, like, he was just cooking. Like, when they went on the Lakers had went on a winning streak, and they were just cooking. So he and Anthony Edwards led the league in 3-pointers made, beating Malik Beasley, who really wanted that record. I'm very sorry, Malik Beasley, for your loss. But Anthony Edwards played a bunch of games, a bunch of minutes, became a 3-point sniper. Before the season, after the Olympics, and during the what are they called? Media day, he talked about how he worked on his tray ball. It worked out for him. But I ended up going with Mitchell. I feel like people sort of undermining Mitchell's season this year because his numbers don't look exactly as potent as they did like last season, for example. But he had to take a step back, and for him to take a step back, be as good as he was, and him taking a step back led to Evan Mobley taking a step forward, Darius Garland getting back to his all-star self. Like, I don't think he should be punished for that too well. Again, if you don't have him on first team, I think that's totally fine, because I think, again, there's arguments for other guys. Jalen Brunson, I didn't even bring up. I think he's someone you could put on first team All-NBA as well. But Donovan Mitchell leading his team, #1 seed, extremely dominant. I try not to factor in records too much, but it does matter to a certain extent. And so I have him on first team. My second team, obviously, was everybody who I just talked about were in contention for the last spot. Brunson, LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, and Cade Cunningham has my last spot. He was top 10 in scoring. He was top 10 in assists. Leading, first time All-Star this season, leading his team to the 6th spot. Like, again, when I talked about this when talking about JB Bickerstaff and Coach of the Year, they like quadrupled their win total. They won like 14 games last year, 28 game losing streak. And Cade who was kind of injured the first couple seasons of his career, really took a big leap to lead this team. He has talked about wanting to be the culture changer in Detroit. And long and behold, they're in the playoff for the first time in 6-7 seasons. He had to get my last All-NBA spot. Last second team All-NBA spot. I just thought he's been phenomenal this year. Scoring the ball, assisting the ball. I think he's a good defender as well. Obviously being 6'8" really helps, but I see a lot of improvement at every single aspect of his game, offensively and defensively. And being a leader in your 4th year, leading your team to a playoff spot, not just a play-in spot, the 6th seed, a guaranteed playoff spot, you get my vote. You get my second team All-NBA vote. Lastly, we got Karl-Anthony Towns, Evan Mobley, JJJ, Jaren Jackson Jr., James Harden, and Alperen Sengun. The last couple spots were hard for me. I think I settled on Harden, and I feel pretty confident about it. The last spot went to Sengun. They're second in the West. Sengun has been awesome. The guy scores, he rebounds, he assists. He's just a good all-around offensive player. People call him Baby Jokic all the time, which he kind of is Baby Jokic, but I know that's something that he wants to, not have that shtick on him. But he had a good season, and apologies to Tyler Hero, Trae Young, Jalen Williams, J-Dub for Oklahoma City. Those are a few guys who I think qualified for this last All-NBA spot. But I feel pretty confident in putting Sengun there. But yeah, that's my All-NBA team. I'm very confident in it. If I had a vote, I'd probably have the best vote out of everybody. Not to make like a competition or anything, but I most certainly would have the best, most respected votes out of everybody. Last but not least, to finish off this award video. Again, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please, all help would be greatly appreciated. My all defensive team. First team, Amen Thompson, Evan Mobley, Draymond Green, Dyson Daniels, and Lu Dort. Second team, listen, I'm a Bam guy. I gotta put my boy on it. It's a little biased, I know, but ooh, I dropped my ball. Pause. But I had Bam, Zubac, OG Anunoby, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Gobert. Apologies to Isaiah Hartenstein and Giannis, Jalen Williams, Derek White. But those are my teams. I think Gobert's had a really good season. I don't think he gets enough credit. I think people really love to disrespect him, make fun of him. But Gobert's a really, really good player, and he's a really, really good defender. He's an elite defender. He's a top 5 defender in the league, and I thought he had a very good season defensively this year. JJJ probably would be on first team if he doesn't stop getting like dumb fouls. Like, that's his one issue. He's a really good shot blocker. He's not a bad defender. He just fouls too much. And to me, one thing with defending is you got to be a smart defender. Jaren Jackson Jr., sometimes you're like, he makes so many dumb fouls that you think he's a low IQ defender, and I don't think of him that way. I don't want to disrespect his intelligence like that, but he just has so many dumb fouls, and it's really hard, and he sometimes doesn't play like 35, 37, 38 minutes like other guys. Zubac is pretty self-explanatory. Amen Thompson, like, I feel like once a game, he just has a crazy defensive play, like a chase down block, a steal, rip somebody. Like, he's just crazy. Draymond Green obviously is my defensive player of the year. Evan Mobley, as good as Evan Mobley is, I just don't look at him and think that he's the best defender on the planet. You know what I'm saying? But he's a damn good defender. Very rangy, very athletic, is the leader of that defense. Lu Dort, they were the #1 defense this year. He's like a football player who plays defense in the NBA, which can be bad if you ask some fan bases. Him, OG Anunoby had a very good season as well. The Knicks weren't a good defensive team, but I don't blame him for that. He's not the reason why they were a bad defensive team. He was fantastic defensively this season. Dyson Daniels is the last guy who I had on first team. Again, the 3 steals per game, the deflections, the thievery that he displayed this season, second to none. That's all the awards. We got through all of it. This is probably going to be a long video, so what, you know, use that as like a podcast style, you know, just have it on the background as you do stuff. But those are my awards. Let me know what you guys think about my list. What's your all NBA teams? What's your all MVPs, DPOYs, your all rookie teams, and all that. Playoffs are getting ready to start after this last play-in game tomorrow night. Recording this on a Thursday. Playoffs start Saturday afternoon. So we're definitely gonna talk about certain games, not all of them, but we're definitely gonna get into a lot of games but when that comes around. So be on the lookout for those videos. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any help would be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.